Well, we're back here live at Java Joe's, our final segment this Friday. Before we move on over to Ames later today, under the Ames straw polls, Glengarry Glen Ross rule, third place isn't a good place to be. First place gets you the Cadillac Eldorado. Second place gets you the set of steak knives. And third place apparently gets you out of the race. Ask Sam Brownback, ask Elizabeth Dole. Anyway, David Yepsen, director of the Paul Simon Public Policy Institute at Southern Illinois University. And of course, is the former longtime columnist for the Des Moines Register, Mr. Iowa himself. And Shira Toeplitz, a political reporter for Roll Call. Mr. Yepsen, I want to start with you about Ames. If Ron Paul wins it, does it undermine the entire straw poll?
It could. I mean, he's not seen by a lot of the people in the political community as a distance runner. And so one of the criticisms of the Iowa process is it's stacked by activists and too many social conservatives, too many people on the fringe. If he were to win it, I think that would be criticized for that.
And Shira Toeplitz, so I hear on the ground here, particularly from like folks that were on the successful Branstad campaign telling me, Paul's organization, when you put it together, Poleni is a great organization, Bachmann is energy, Paul has both.
Well, what I've heard on the ground is that Paul actually has organized it this time. Last time around, 4 years ago, it was a lot of energy, but it was a little more whimsical. It wasn't exactly a serious operation. This time around, apparently he's organized and he has a lot of activists. There's a good chance he could come in first tomorrow.
David, the thing, though, that this does do is it never really necessarily propels a candidate, the straw poll. It eliminates them. We've seen it before. Brownback, he was the guy trying to do what, for instance, Rick Santorum's trying to do, or arguably a Michelle Bachmann, and he finished third, which was pretty good for him, and he was out of the race within weeks. Elizabeth Dole, Lamar Alexander, Dan Quayle, all eliminated from the 99 straw poll. That's what's going on tomorrow, isn't it?
Right. It's almost as if the straw poll has replaced the caucuses themselves as an event that winnows the field. I do think with the Ron Paul candidacy, though, it's much more of a legitimate campaign than it was last time, and they'll have an impact. I thought in the debate you saw this fault line that's developing inside the Republican Party about America's role.
By the way, it's an old fault line. This is not a new one.
It's been there since 1912.
Yeah, let's not pretend. You know, we say, oh my God, this is not. No. There's always been an isolationist streak in the Republican Party, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's flaring up again, and there's a real division. And so this is one of the things that goes on of the straw poll and the caucus, Chuck, is I think a discussion about what the message, as well as the messenger, is going to be the Republican Party.
Sure, you've been writing and covering a lot on Michelle Bachmann. How effective, how much did she push back last night to some of these Poleni attacks? How prepared did you get the sense that she was for these attacks?
Oh, I got the sense she was very prepared. If you've watched Michelle Bachmann's career, you know, for the past 10 years as a politician, she was very disciplined last night.
Does she?
No. You could tell her answers were trained, they were rehearsed. I think she's finally listening, and she's hired some people to whom she'll listen to, people like Ed Rollins, and it's serving her well.
David, one of the things that you've seen over the years when there is only one party dominating the caucuses here, it actually hurts the out party, right? It hurts the incumbent president running for re-election. Their numbers go down. Are we seeing that same thing happen for President Obama?
Absolutely. I thought you made a very good point earlier in the show.
New Hampshire's even worse these days. But
you know, that's right. And because what happens is this state is very competitive. I mean, George Bush carried this state by less than 1 vote per precinct. Right?
And so, Al Gore, that's about the same 4 years previous.
That's right. So it doesn't take much to tip a few electoral votes. It's a small state, so is New Hampshire. But in these close races, it can make a big difference. The Republicans are going to come out of this with a better list of precinct workers, of activists, of people who support them. And one other thing that's going on here in this state is I think the liberal base is very dispirited. They're very unhappy. Some of the same people that propelled Obama. The shock troops aren't there.
Right.
And Obama's got to fire up that base if he's going to want to win Iowa.
David Yepsen. Can I get it made right around Des Moines?
Or no, that's ones are in Marshalltown.
Right. Is there one around here?
Yeah, there's a few around town.
All right. David Yepsen, good to see you. Go Salukis. Shira Toeplitz, nice to see you.
Great to be here.
That's it for this edition of the Daily Rundown. Don't miss our special primetime results edition of the Daily Rundown tomorrow. We're going to be live at Ames at the Hilton Coliseum as the straw poll results come in. That starts at 6 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to be joined by my pal, Andrea Mitchell. She's going to be right here at Java Joe's today at 1. And then she's going to be with me tomorrow. She's doing the 2-hour shift in front of me. So coming up next on MSNBC, though, is Chris Jancy and Company. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. Stick with us.